What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? So we are going to kind of just talk about the draft lottery and what went down last night. Now that we have just a night to sleep on it, and I kind of want to express what I feel or just my opinions on the lottery, because last night was my initial reaction. Obviously, the emotions were all up in the air. Knicks fell to 8, or they fell to 8. I really couldn't think of anything else at that time, just besides just pure frustration. Just pretty much. So I actually want to talk about kind of every team's position and what went down. Also, if you want me to react to like any other reactions to the lottery, or if you want to see anything like that, let me know in the comments below, or just any videos if you guys want to double upload today. So we could start with the top 6 picks. Top 6, yeah. Nothing crazy happened. It was all the same. Boston at 14. Imagine they jumped up to 1. Well, if they jumped up to 1, then it would have been Memphis's pick. So Boston stays at 14. Pelicans stay at 13. I am dropping a mock draft on my main channel today, so I'll kind of give what I want each team to really do, or just my mock draft. If you are curious, so I'm not going to give like a formal mock draft here. But Boston can really do a lot of things at 14 because they don't really need to hit on this pick, and they really don't specifically need a position. Yeah, maybe they could use a center, but at 14, Okongwu and Wiseman are going to be off the board, so there's really no center you want to reach on at 14 unless they really like Vernon Carey or Isaiah Stewart, but I don't know if I would go with them at 14. I don't know if Pukazevsky is an NBA 5, so I don't know what Boston's going to do, but they can do a lot of things. They can maybe go like a Patrick Williams. They could maybe go a Josh Green and develop the guy and let him learn alongside Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum. And Tatum and Brown aren't veterans by any means, but they're still really good players, and that can definitely mentor some young guys. New Orleans, I expect them to take somebody that can, I mean, like Boston, don't see them taking a center if they bring back Favors and they have Jackson Hayes. I mean, they could take a forward. They could take a guard as well. I actually could see them taking a point guard because there's a lot of good ones in the shift. Like Theo Maledon could be there. Killian Hayes probably won't be there, but RJ Hampton could be there. Tyrese Maxey, Kyra Lewis also could be there. And I know Gentry is gone, so I don't know if they're going to be a full run and gun, not 7 seconds or less, but a fast-paced offense. But I expect them to be with a fairly young team, an athletic team with their new head coach. Sacramento at 12. They need to hit on this pick. It sucks because I don't know if they're going to trade Buddy Hield this offseason. I don't know if anyone's going to get traded this offseason with all the stuff going around. But I could see them probably going a guard as well, or just a wing if if his days are numbered in Sacramento. If they want to go maybe like an Aaron Nesmith. I don't know if Devin Vassell falls to 12, but he could be a viable option. Patrick Williams. They could go Tyrese Maxey, maybe play him at the shooting guard position. So those could be some options, or RJ Hampton as well. San Antonio, they're at 11. I could see them going just offensive need. Like, they're a pretty solid defensive team as it is, especially with their backcourt of Derek White and DeJounte Murray, and Monty Walker came along at the end of the year. So I don't know if they'll go a backcourt member. Wouldn't be surprised if they do, though, because it's the San Antonio Spurs. They're kind of like the New England Patriots of the NBA. So I could see them going Aaron Nesmith here at 11, a scoring wing, maybe sit behind DeMar DeRozan for 1 year, because DeMar DeRozan probably won't be a Spur in 2022. He'll probably opt in this offseason and become an unrestricted free agent in 2021. So I could see them trying to go maybe his replacement down the line. Maybe a Devin Vassell if he falls to 11, or Patrick Williams, Aaron Nesmith, Josh Green. Those are some of the better wings that can go there at 11, because I expect Okoro to go a lot higher, and Denny Avdija as well, or not a lot higher, but higher. Phoenix, point guard or power forward. I mean, I don't know if Obi Toppin falls to 10. Probably not. Probably not, since he was the best player. What is it? The Naismith Award. It's not Naismith or Wooden Award. I always get them mixed up. But yeah, of college basketball, he's really good. I don't know if he's going to fall to 10, but Phoenix, that'd probably be a dream, because he's probably pretty NBA ready, since he is going to be 22, or he's 22 already. And he'll be playing alongside DeAndre Ayton, and they need a power forward. They don't know the long-term fit. They're kind of like the Timberwolves. They don't know their long-term fit next to their franchise center. We could say Ayton's like a franchise center for them. And then I would like to also see them maybe go point guard. I don't know if like Killian Hayes or Cole Anthony falls to 10, but those could also be some viable options. Or Kyra Lewis, I think. Maybe RJ Hampton as well. Sit behind Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio still has 2 years left on his contract, so they don't need to play right away. If you can mold them and have them be a starting point guard in a year or two, I think that's pretty solid. Washington at 9. They need defense. We know that. They were the worst defensive team in the NBA this year. So I would like to see them either end up with Devin Vassell, Isaac Okoro, or Patrick Williams. One of those three I think would be really solid. They could also use a center, but I don't see a Okongwu falling to 9. And like I said, for Boston, there's really no other centers that you take here in the lottery besides Okongwu and James Wiseman. So those are one of the 3 guys I would like to see fall to them, and then they could pick them up, play them at the 3. Maybe start over Troy Brown Jr. You still have Beal and Wall, and then you have your power forwards with Rui and Davis Bertans, and your center might be Thomas Bryant next year. Well, I mean, Bryant will be on the roster, but I don't know if he's going to be the starting center. Probably will be. And then we have the Knicks at 8. Now, I was very upset when this happened, and I still am, but I'm kind of used to it. It sucks, but it is what it is. You still got to hit on your draft pick. There's been plenty of amazing talents that have gone outside the top 5, so the Knicks have really no excuse to not hit a pick here. It's not a great draft, but this could be a draft where the best player isn't in the top 5. This draft's weird, so I wanted a point guard. Now, I don't think... I mean, it could be Denny Avdija or Obi Toppin. Those could be 2 guys that could be on their radar because they do have openings at the small forward and power forward position long term. Julius Randle might not be back next year or in 2022. He'll probably decline his team option depending on how he plays this year. And small forward at the moment, it's Kevin Knox and Mo Harkless. Really nothing set in stone there. So I could see them going a wing if they really like a Devin Vassell or Isaac Okoro. Okoro could fall to 8. I don't know, though. With Atlanta being at 6, they might take him unless Denny's there. But the point guards are there for the Knicks. You're probably going to have a chance to draft Cole Anthony if they like him. You're probably going to have a chance to draft Kyra Lewis if you like him. RJ Hampton as well. And then Killian Hayes. But Killian Hayes might go higher. I'm not sure what the consensus on is with Killian Hayes. So the Knicks... It's probably point guard here, and there's going to be some good point guard options. They just have to hit on them. I'm sure 1 out of the 4 of Cole Anthony, Kyra Lewis, Killian Hayes, and RJ Hampton, one of those 4 is going to be an all-star one day. I would think. So if they can hit on that, shout out to Leon Rose. 7, Detroit really got screwed as well. Cleveland, Atlanta, Detroit, and New York all got screwed. Cleveland dropped 3 to 5 2 years in a row now. They dropped from 2 to 5, I think, last year. Yeah, 2 to 5. So Detroit... They also need to kind of hit on this pick because they're probably in the worst position out of any team in this lottery. They got nothing going for them. I mean, Sekou Doumbouya, it was raw this year. He was a very raw prospect going in, but he did show that he could be an NBA player, and he was pretty solid throughout some stretches. Luke Kennard is still a good player. I hope they don't have to overpay for him in 2021. We'll see how he plays this year. Obviously, it was an injury-riddled season. Christian Wood they're looking to bring back, but they have Blake Griffin. They have Derrick Rose, 2 vets that really... They have a place on this team, and they're the 2 best players on this team, but it's like they're going to be fighting for 25 wins next year, which I don't know if they're going to move Derrick Rose. His contract's a lot easier to move than Blake Griffin, so I don't know if that's going to be the case, but you could go for somebody with maybe a longer trajectory to being like a really good player, but higher upside. Maybe that's Killian Hayes for them at 7 if they really like him. So I think that could happen. Atlanta at 6, so... I think Isaac Okoro, if Denny Avdija is off the board, I think you might even go Isaac Okoro over Denny Avdija. You don't really need offense. You really don't. And that's why you're drafting Avdija over Okoro, and you would draft Okoro over Avdija for defense. And you need somebody in the backcourt with Trae Young, because we saw how bad Trae Young is as a defender, and who knows what his ceiling is going to be as a defensive player. Is it going to be any better than this? But I think Okoro pairing him up with Young would be great for him in that backcourt, and I think that would be a really smart decision because you have your small forwards in Reddish and Hunter. You already have a backup shooting guard now if you draft Okoro in Kevin Huerter, and I think you can play Okoro at the 2. I don't even know if Denny Avdija would be a good shooting guard. He'd be more of like a 3 or 4, but it's a wing in general. It's positionless. Positionless. There you go. It's early for me. And then you got Collins at the 4, and you got Capella at the 5. See, now I'm running into this thing. Like, Minnesota, they're not taking Okongwu. Golden State not taking Okongwu. But if Wiseman goes top 2, right? Does Charlotte take Okongwu at 3? If they don't, who takes Onyeka Okongwu? He might fall to Detroit at 7. Because Chicago, they have Wendell Carter Jr. at the 5. Do they really need Onyeka Okongwu? Not really. Cleveland, I mean, they could. They definitely could, because Drummond will probably opt in here in 2020, but being unrestricted in 2021. Cleveland don't see that with Clint Capella. I mean, maybe that's best player available in their mind, so Okongwu could fall to Detroit at 7. No, talking about Cleveland at 5, I think Denny Avdija would be a really nice pick for them. Yeah, I think that's what they should end up with. I don't know if they would go point guard since they really drafted 2 point guards in the last 2 drafts. Colin Sexton in 2018 at number 6, and then Darius Garland last year, number 5 in 2019. Sexton's now more of a shooting guard, but I think Denny Avdija would be a really good pick here, unless Isaac Okoro gets some pre-draft hype and he falls, or he starts rising, and then they kind of think about him at 5. Okongwu, if he's still on the board at 5. Maybe Obi Toppin. Maybe he can learn from Kevin Love. Even though he's already 22, I feel like he's got to start right away if you really want to get the most out of him. I mean, he doesn't have to start right away. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. Cleveland's going to be interesting. Chicago at 4. Also, they don't really have a specific need. I guess it would be a small forward or just like a good defensive wing that they could start next to Zach LaVine and like Larry Markin in the middle of those 2 guys. That might be Isaac Okoro, honestly. Maybe they're a trade down candidate if they really like LaMelo Ball, but he goes in the top 3, and they're like, okay, we like Isaac Okoro. I mean, you might have to take him at 4 because Atlanta might take him at 6. So if you want him, you're going to probably have to take him at 4. I mean, they could go Obi Toppin or Denny Avdija. They could go Denny. I don't like that defensive lineup with Denny out there with LaVine, Kobe, and Markkanen. I'm not a fan of that. So, Chicago, it's going to be interesting to see who they go for. If I don't know, I'll talk about this in a second, but Charlotte at 3, I think they would love Wiseman. And there's a chance Wiseman could be there because there is still a potential opportunity that Minnesota goes LaMelo at 1 and not Anthony Edwards, and then Golden State gets Edwards at 2 and Wiseman's on the board at 3 for Charlotte, and I think that's who they'll definitely take if LaMelo and Edwards are 1 and 2, respectfully. So Charlotte could end up with Wiseman. I think they could go Okongwu. I mean, if it goes Edwards-Wiseman, do they take LaMelo? If it goes Edwards, yeah, they might. They might have to take LaMelo Ball. I mean, that would be great for Charlotte. Just to make them a more exciting team, more exciting basketball city, because it's such a big basketball state with college basketball with Duke and UNC, but it's not as big in the NBA with Charlotte, so maybe this would be really good for them. And they just lost Kemba Walker a year ago, so maybe it's the return they need. Golden State at 2. I think it depends on what Minnesota does at 1. I think they would really like Anthony Edwards at 2, but we'll see if Minnesota takes him at 1. If not, you goes Wiseman over Ball. I think for that team, you do. I think that is what they should do. And then Minnesota at 1, I would go Edwards. I don't like the fit with LaMelo on that team. LaMelo and D'Lo backcourt just doesn't, I don't know. I don't like it because they're both going to want 20 shots. Let alone you have to give 20 shots a game to Karl Anthony Towns as well. They're both not going to play a lick of defense at least this year. I mean, I'll take that back. LaMelo, we don't know, but he's probably not going to be a good defender his rookie year, and D'Lo is not a good defender right now. So I don't like the backcourt. I don't. I'd rather them go Anthony Edwards, and you have D'Lo at the 1, Edwards at the 2. I like that a lot better. But they could go LaMelo at 1. They definitely could, because they're probably not going to have their first-round pick next year unless they win the lottery. But shout out to Minnesota. I'm happy like a smaller market team ended up winning the lottery. They messed up kind of the Jimmy Butler trade. So now they have kind of a good foundation again. They're going to have the number 1 pick. They're going to have, obviously, D'Lo and Cat. So I'm happy for Minnesota winning it. So what I was saying is LaMelo. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, does LaMelo fall to 4? Is there any world where LaMelo falls to 4? Because Minnesota goes Edwards 1. It's not a crazy thing that could happen. I think that might be the more logical one. Golden State takes Wiseman at 2. Charlotte maybe they go... I don't know. Maybe they go Denny Avdija or Okongwu. They like the fit better. They like the need better. And then Chicago lands LaMelo, and him and Kobe White fight it out. I don't know. So I just kind of went through the lottery and wanted to give my kind of reaction after thinking about it and sleeping on it and not having just all these frustrations and just emotions in my mind after the Knicks dropped from 6 to 8. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want your favorite team to do if you're in the lottery, or just any crazy scenarios you could see. Do you see maybe somebody falling in the lottery? Do you see somebody being like a riser towards the draft? Or do you see a trade happening? I'm sure we're going to see a trade in this top 10. We see it every year. So, well, not every year, but we saw it last year where Lakers traded 4 and then the Pelicans traded 4, and then also the Suns traded 6. We saw it the year prior with Dallas and Atlanta swapping picks. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know this was a more kind of rambling style video, but let me know if you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.